Hi and welcome to today's session. I'm going to take you through how to write your quick click ad. This will save you years of time. Out of the thousands of variations that are out there, we siphoned out one simple structure that works every single time. So I'm really excited to take you through this. This is your ad so that we can leverage lead flow. Remember, just a quick reminder, you own the system for life. Once this is set up, it will get you clients for the rest of your life. Just focus on this. This is all we do. All right, please pay attention to this. Remember, you've not bought a coaching program, you bought a system which you're implementing into your business. You keep that system for life. You keep the system for life at no ongoing cost to us. It has a normal cost of running, which is small, cost of business, which is small. As you know, overhead for an online business is very, very cost effective. You get the support and coaching on how to use it for a limited time. This program is part of your support to set this up. At the end of your membership, the support will end like any other normal membership. Check your expiry date so you know how long you have access to the support. Check when that is. We want you to use it, maximize it so you get the most out of it. And I promise you, this is going to be the best system that you ever have in your business. It'll pay you a dividend for the rest of your life. Just keep focused on this. Keep getting better. Don't get bitter. All right, when you take action, you get results, you get rewarded as a byproduct of that. We will always be helping you further forward. If you're putting in action, you're getting results. Don't get bitter, get better. I promise you it's going to pay you a dividend for the rest of your life. Let's go. Okay, so look, what you're going to get in today's session, why our approach to ads is so powerful, what happens when you focus on ads, what is the quick click ad strategy overview, what to do to make your quick click ad work better, how to write your quick click ad, and what this means for your future, and tasking to complete now. Okay, so why our approach to ads is so powerful. I watched coaches, consultants for years get overwhelmed with ads. Most courses teach hundreds of variations. They think that is what people want. This is the reason the majority give up with ads. No one wants loads of variations of ads. No one wants to be massively overwhelmed. That's the hard way, right? That's the long way. You're left having to do all of the testing. And so what I did is everyone just wants the easy way, the fastest way, getting someone else to do the testing for them, to have done all the testing for them. So that's what I did. So we tested, no joke, over hundreds and hundreds of variations, borderline 1,000 variations. We've spent we've got access to data right now, just so you know, on a yearly basis of over 100 million spent on data on ads. Now, that's not just me, that's with our agencies as well, and those clients too. But that's the sort of spend per year that we've run this sort of data across. So you're never going to find anyone with that sort of level of data available to them. And when you're running lots of ads, what happens is you start to see variations, you start to see consistencies. And that's how I created this. So I tested for years. We spent millions on ads ourselves. As I said, with our partners, our agencies, and our clients, total exposure to data is 100 million per year in data stats. So we spent well over millions on ads, so you don't have to. All right. So look, that's what I did for you. And I used to do this all myself before I grew my team. I'd been testing for over 15 years now, just running simple ads with a simple, computer. And we spent millions on ads, as I said, so you don't have to. All right. And so I filled out our online programs, live events, just by running ads. That was it. All right. That's me there. Now, this is an ad. Sorry, this is an event that I filled out with just simple ads. And that's not like, you see some of these speakers and they're going to success resources and they speak on other people's stages, but then it's not their event. This is my event. There's a big difference. All right. Which means that we filled that event. That as in they came because of the structure. And look, I was unknown in the market. So it's got nothing to do with my brand, because I had no followers. I had no followers. I didn't have any personal pages at that time. They just saw ads. That was it. How cool is that? Do you guys get that? Are you guys getting excited about that? Right? In a world of total BS today, where people think you have to have millions of subscribers and followers, I just slammed in hundreds of thousands of people into online programs and live events with just ads. without any social backing at all. My social backing has only grown in the last couple of years. And so I went with like a couple of small clients to like thousands of clients. It put me alongside the greats in absolutely rapid time. Every time I put an event on, I'd say, Tony Robbins, I'm coming for you. In less than 4 years, I got put alongside in one of the go-to event promoters in the UK, alongside the great Tony Robbins. And again, it's the ad format, right? It's exactly how I'm going to show you. All right. So why is the quick click ad so effective? Because it's focused on calling out your ideal client in rapid time. It's focused on their problem. It gives them an instant solution. Your HVG free PDF or free training is the solution. That's why they're going to click to download it. There are millions of potential clients out there with the problem you can solve. We're gonna demand an instant reaction from them in the way that it's written. If they have the problem we're talking about, however, if they do not target their specific problem, if you do not, or your message does not, they will not download your HVG, which means that you get immediate feedback on whether your message is working. That's why the ad structure is 100% guaranteed to work. Like either they download it and that's the result, or they don't download it, that's the result, right? Which means that you just fine tune the message and it will work, right? So it tells you that your message isn't working or is working. And then you can refine until it works. Right, you have one framework to refine and tweak until it lands. One, that's it, right? It has been tested with millions worth of ad budget. It converts really well. It's one of our highest formats out there without having to have social proof. It gets you feedback straight away on your message. Your message will either work or not work. It gets your client to do just one thing and one thing only. Click the ad, right? That is the goal. That is why I called it the quick click ad. So it's based on the power of one. Now, if you know the dude on the left, Steve Jobs, all right, Lee Clow was a marketing exec at the time. Lee Clow was the head of Chart.de media agency, a big media agency. They were hired to review the content for iMac commercial back in the day. Jobs wanted the commercial to say 4 or 5 things in 30-second spot. All right, Clow insisted it should just say one thing, but Jobs wasn't budging. Lee, frustrated at Steve, all right, threw 5 paper balls at him and Steve caught none of them. Lee said, that's a bad ad. Lee then threw Steve just 1 ball of paper and Steve caught it. Lee said, that's a good ad. Okay, so we're going to leverage the power of one. Now, I read that story in The Art of Simplicity and I thought it was a powerful story. I wanted to include that because I've always looked at the power of one in everything that I do. How can I get myself or my clients to focus on one? So it's one click quick ad, right? We're not doing hundreds of variations. You don't need to, right? That focuses your potential clients to take one action and that's it. So you're not selling your program in this. You have to copy the structure. It will not work if you don't copy the structure. Again, it's 100% guaranteed to work. The ad always works, 100% guaranteed to work. The ad works and they download your guide. The ad works and they do not download your guide. Hang on a minute. Well, what does that mean? Which means you'll refine your message and your message will work. You've got a piece of data that says no one's downloading this. Means that it's worked. You just have to get your message to work. The ad is working. It's serving on the platform. It's the message that's not working. Does that make sense? It's a difference. Pay attention, okay? The ad always works. The ad is out there working. They're either downloading it. Can we make it work better? Yes. Right? Can we refine the message? Yes. Okay? But the ad is working. If they're not downloading, it's your message that's not aligning. Very valuable feedback for you to know. Believe me, I've been there. I had this amazing concept. I was trying to fill out an event. And the ad just wasn't landing. And I was talking about expert. And expert just wasn't landing. And as much as I pushed it, it wasn't landing. So I had to take the feedback. The ad wasn't working. Right, sorry, the ad was working. The message wasn't working. Okay, cool. I changed it and the ad worked. All right, I changed that simple word from expert into a different word, clients, outcome, and it worked. So what happens when you focus on ads? You build a powerful community because you're collecting that data. You build an email list. Remember, there's two forms of data. All right, data that you own, data that you don't own. You own that data when you build an email list. You build a phone number list. You own that data. You build a real data that secures your future. You build a real asset for your business that can be sold, right? A client list becomes an asset. The larger your client list, the easier it is to generate a larger income. On average, you make $1 per contact collected on your list per month, which means, so if you had 10,000 contacts on your contact list, you should be making 10,000 a month easily. Now, we make a lot more than that. You will most likely make 3 to 4 times more than that. Okay, and so that's why this is so powerful. Facebook bought WhatsApp for $19 billion because of their huge client list. WhatsApp are collecting data, email addresses, and phone number. That's how it becomes a real asset. Right? Facebook are worth 430 billion because they have everyone's data, not because they have followers. They've got their email address and phone number, and they've got your behavior data. That's why it's worth so much, not because they got followers. And look how these companies convince people, yeah, get more and more followers. That's more exposure. But really what you should be doing is collecting data like a smart, real business. And so the larger your client list, the more clients you get. The larger your client list, the more influence you have. The larger your client list is, the more impact you make. The larger your client list is, the more money you will make. So what is the quickest way to build your list? Paid marketing. There's nothing quicker than paid marketing. Simply running ads. This is where we started. We started in this before social media was kind of out there. And, you know, before people were trying to build social media pages and organics, etc. And that's how I started. So what happens? You dominate your market when you focus on ads, because the law of domination marketing states whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer and remain profitable wins. Why? Because you can just keep on putting more and more money into it, stay profitable, and you can out-compete anyone in your market because you can spend more than them to acquire a customer and still be profitable, which means that as you start to scale, you can just spend more on marketing, which means that you have total dominance. So the law of domination marketing, when your ads work, everything changes for you. Every year that you stay in business, you can earn more and do less based on systems that you build. If you are clear on the problem you're solving, if your clients are clear on the problem you're solving, if you stay consistent in your marketplace, you will dominate your market very quickly just by running ads. You can build a following so easily off the back of that. That's exactly how I became one of the top event speakers in less than 4 years, because I was just running ads. That was it. And people were like, how come so many people are turning up to your events? And how come some people are so many, joining your programs? Because I'm running ads. And the others weren't. They were scared of it. But that's where I'd always started business. So it was just normal for me. And so you will dominate any market. You'll dominate your competitors, because most of your competitors will be worried about doing ads. They won't have someone to hold their hand doing it. They won't have access to this program. And they'll be there on social media just trying to pump content, building a following. So what's the quickest way to scale? Let me introduce you to the scale flow, and you're going to be writing this down. So look, once your ad is converting, assess the data. Remember, a percentage will book a free call, a percentage will not. And we're going to follow up with those people regardless if they book or they don't book. All right, we make contact, we speak to book calls, call those that do not book. A percentage, close those clients, the closer process to close the clients onto your program, and then increase ad spend. So you spend more, reinvest a higher percentage of your revenue back in, and that just keeps going around. So for example, you make more sales. So your ad is converting, it's getting lead through, some are booking, some are not. You're calling them up, you're making contact, you're speaking to book calls, call those that do not book, close clients, close a process to close those clients onto your program, and then you just reinvest, right, a percentage of that money back into your program. That's why you have to constantly reinvest into your business, because you have to keep on growing it. And so you just keep on, all right? As your ad converts better, you start closing more people, you make more sales, you reinvest that back into your ads, okay? As your ad, so therefore you increase the amount that your ad is converting, therefore you increase the amount of people that you're making contact, you increase the sales, Therefore, you reinvest back into your ad spend. And so look, sometimes people go, oh, I don't want to reinvest back into my business. You're going to have to reinvest into your business for the rest of your life. A percentage of your profit goes into support, goes into ads, the right training, the right team. And don't think I'm telling you to do something I don't do too. I do this too. We spend $50,000 a month just on consultancy fees, having our team trained up by the best. Could I train them all? Yeah, of course. But do I have the time to do it all? No, of course I don't. So I pay other people to do the things that I can't do. Thus, I am free from that. That's how it's going to you're going to have to pay other people to do stuff. You're going to have to reinvest back into your business, but your business will become more and more profitable. So it's no problem. You just spend more. The more you spend on advertising, the goal is to spend 100 to 200,000 a month, right? If you want a 10 million, business, you've got to spend 20% of that on ads, right? If you want to do $1 million a month, to give you an idea, you've got to spend 20% of that on ads, which means that's 200,000 a month on ads. All right. You've got to then hire more people to make contact. All right. And then you've got to close more sales, and then you reinvest back up, and just rinse and repeat. And you just keep doing that, but you're profitable. Right? Makes sense? So that's the scale flow. It's really simple. It's one of the easiest concepts. You just spend more on ads, make more contact, close more sales, and then increase ad spend. That's it. Remember, if you spent $300 and got 60 emails and phone numbers, and you got one client at $1,500, that is a 400% ROI. That is a money printer. That's why if you invest more into ads, close more deals, reinvest that money back in, you will continually make more and more, and it will grow. There is no business model in the world that you can do like this. I mean, how cool is that? That there is... I hope you're getting excited about this. If you're dying inside because you're like, oh my God, it's too complicated for me, it's super simple. Please pay attention. Get your head in the game and realize what you've got access to. Realize the power that's at your fingertips, that you are in the forefront of this, and this is still very new in the game. Don't think that there's thousands of people in your market competing. There are very few people that are in your market that really know what they're doing. I guarantee you that. So this is exciting. I'm excited for you to be here. Even if you're not excited, I am excited for you to be here. So look, what is the quick click ad strategy overview? This is your fastest route to get new clients that have never heard of you, cold clients. It's all about the problem that you can solve for them, so that's why they're going to buy. It's direct, it's straight to the point. It's all about them. It's entirely focused around getting them to click the page, click the ad. Overly fancy ads just don't work. Believe me, I have tested them. I once created one of the most fancy ads in the world, loads of B-roll, amazing story, did not convert. Gutted, but it is what it is. The ad was working, the message wasn't. This is simple, easy, and straight to the point. What is the strategy? Grab your ideal client's attention, highlight their problem, get them to click on your link, and download your HVG free PDF or webinar. It's the same ad for the webinar later on. You collect their details. You now have a client to nurture to join your program. It's simple as that. So we're going to write it out. I'm going to take you through it. It's a quick click ad. It's a simple picture of you holding the guide. You can do other picture variations if you want to check. At the top, you're going to go a strap line, need more clients, free guide. That's it. And with a picture of you holding it. The reason we go with a picture, it's the quickest and the easiest to do. All right. So you don't have to fluff around. Okay. And we're going to send that, all right, to find our ideal clients. We're going to be covering Instagram, and we're going to be covering Facebook, plus all apps that are linked to that. So we're going to be using the Facebook Business Manager that covers Instagram and Facebook. Now, the reason that we start with this platform, it's the quickest to get feedback on the ad. Now, we do at a later stage advance you to YouTube, but YouTube is much, much more difficult to get an actual lead. The lead cost is going to be more expensive, and there's a lot more that goes into it. It needs weekly assessments. Look, if you've seen some people on courses online saying, oh, YouTube's the easiest, you will lose hundreds of thousands if you get YouTube wrong, because Google don't have the stop losses that Facebook and Instagram have. So Facebook and Instagram is a very quick way to start testing. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, but my clients are on LinkedIn. I promise you, all of your clients are on LinkedIn are also on Instagram and Facebook. So look, LinkedIn is one of the worst ad platforms in the world. It is always underperformed. It has never done well. And it's a complete lie that it's any good. I promise you, we still test it. We run budget on it and it never, ever outperforms. And you say, well, I've got a different niche. It doesn't matter. We've tested so many different niches on it. And we've also run our own niche, our consultancy niche, which is a business niche. And it doesn't outperform Facebook and Instagram, okay? YouTube is good, but it takes time to dial it in. This is why we go quick with Instagram, Facebook, get immediate feedback on that ad, get you sales coming through, okay? And then once you've got cash flow coming in, then our team can become your team and we can help you structure your YouTube scaling more efficiently. It does take weekly live clinics to get that working because you have to put the data back in. Whereas Instagram and Facebook are really simple. They change the game. So look, what is the strategy? We start with Facebook and Instagram and all apps linked to them because it's the fastest response time. It's the easiest to set up. It's also the quickest and easiest to set up. It's the easiest to manage. It's the fastest to get feedback on your message. If your message doesn't land, you have to tweak it until it does. So that's what we're looking to do. At an advanced level, we scale you up on multiple platforms once your message is validated and it's looking good. All right, we currently have it in-house and use external agencies as well. So we keep the most up to date with what is working. The total revenue of data we have access to is, as I said, over 100 million per year spent on ads. So we know what we're talking about in this. So we know what works and we know what doesn't. So please don't come in. Like, I know some of you may have run some ads and you're like, oh yeah, I know all about it. Or you know, some of you already have like, you know, something working, your webinar's working or whatever. And it's like, you know, you don't think you're new or something, but you've never run an ad before, which means that you're new to ads. So look, just park your ego at the door. I promise you, you'll learn a lot more. We keep at the forefront of this to give you the best and the most up-to-date strategies. If anything changes, we always update it. So here's the quick click ad strategy. You got your quick click ad, right? The ad is 100% guaranteed to work. We're going to be running that on Facebook and Instagram, as I said, and all apps connected to that, which means audience network and stuff like that. Your client downloads your HVG, all right? Your message is working. They enter into your funnel. All right, or the client does not download your HVG, all right, which means your message is not landing yet. You got to assess the ad, leave for minimum 7 days before tweaking the message. Don't start tweaking it every minute, all right? No, you got to let it settle, and it has around a 24-hour period to kind of like bury in, and then a couple of days you start to see stuff coming through, depending again on how much you're spending. We recommend between $5 and $10 per day to start with. And then you can start to assess. If you've got a business niche, you're going to have to spend a little bit more. If you've got like a health niche or relationship, you can get away with a little bit less. But we can guide you in the group to exactly where you need to go with this. This is why you do need constant support, because you need people that already know this stuff helping you do it. And that's what we're here. So look, your message is not landing yet. You assess, you leave for minimum 7 days before tweaking the message. Then you tweak and test, add message, add audience, HVD title, content, you know, just check the landing page, etc. Okay, and then until your message works. So it's as simple as that. That is why the ad always works. Because it's working, right, when it's telling you that your message is not landing. This is invaluable data. You must stay humble and listen to this. I get that some of you have huge freaking egos. You know everything. But look at the bank. Look at your bank. Right? Your bank is an indication to how much you know something. Now, if you've been running ads and you got 100,000 per month there generated in profit, you know ads well, for sure. All right? If you've got zero cash in the bank, that's how well you know your current business model, because you've got zero cash in the bank. I'm afraid that's how easy it is. And your client, you're going to find this with your clients too. They're going to come with like loads of like, I think, you know, I know it all, right? And you're like, hang on a minute, you've got no results. All right. In any area of your life, if you're going to go out and teach health, you've got to have the results, right? If you're going to teach relationships, you've got to have the results. Okay. You're going to speak business, you've got to have the results. Okay. So what to do to make your ad work better? If it always is working, how do we make it work better is the question. So look, in the past, traditional magazines adverts would lock you in for 6 months. When the ad was done, you couldn't change it. It would be a fixed fee. The only way I would know if it worked or not would be if a person turned up with an actual coupon in their hand. So back in the day, we'd pay £600 for an ad in a local newspaper. They'd get this little coupon and then turn up to our place. You know, like when I had a salon, they would turn up in place and hopefully they'd get like a little discount. So you know immediately if it works or it doesn't work. You can't do anything about changing it. You can't change the copy. You can't change anything, right? And so you were really tied to the process. Now you have total control now. So you can TMT. TMT, what's that? You test, you measure, all right, and then you tweak. Okay, and then you just keep on testing, measuring, and tweaking. Test, measure, and tweak. Right? You have total control over this process. This is the same process that Thomas Edison, invented the light bulb. He just kept on testing, measuring, and tweaking. Okay, have you ever seen Breaking Bad? It's super cool. They create the best product in the world by just testing, measuring, and tweaking. Okay, and so that's what you're going to become. Think of yourself like a chemist. All right, what do you need to do to make your ad work better? You've got to test, measure, and tweak. You've got to become someone that is super curious. Oh my God, look at the data. And we're going to be there helping you read the data. And it's not complicated like it is in chemistry. It's very things, cost per click, cost per download. All right, that's it pretty much. How much is it costing for a download? How many book calls am I getting because of that? Remember, test, measure, and tweak. All we have to do is test, measure, tweak the elements. This is very quick to do. In less than a couple of minutes, you can optimize based on the feedback you're getting. And then you assess and then you leave it for like 5 to 7 days. You don't just test and then immediately change. All right, you test, you measure, and then you tweak. Test, and then you measure. That time period for measure, 7 days for an ad. Test, 7 days, measure them over 7 days, and then you start tweaking words. Okay, you start changing stuff. So we're going to test, we're going to measure for 5 to 7 days, measure the stats coming in, and then we're going to tweak. Okay, so pay attention. Right, warning, do not wait for an intervention to occur. Just wait for the stars to align. Don't just put your ad up and then, we never hear from you ever again. I don't want you to wait for the right time when it feels right to you. This is not about feelings. All right, this is about watching data, all right? And you need to be taught how to read the data. So you got to post your ad in the group. And then as a part of this program, we're teaching you how to assess the data, right? Don't be waiting for God to help you with your ads, all right? And so specifically, one more time, do not post your ad, put it live, and then I never hear from you ever again. We need to help you understand that ad. And that's a big part of the training, which is live. The reason that we do the Facebook modules, the Instagram, like the Facebook and Instagram ad setup, the way we do is you have to sit down, go through the modules, and then you loom videos, anything that you're not sure of. And then we give you live support on those questions. Now that's a very important part of the process because this is how you're also going to teach your team, when you have one, to do that too. You have to have an online business that works without having to speak to someone directly, and doing tech setup is the best way to do it. So one more warning, the tech modules are critical for your ability to set up. The tech modules are critical for your learning, and so you can train your team online in the same way. Now, sometimes people go like, I wish you could just be there with me. We are there with you. I've got a full team there with you. You just have to use Loom Video, record your screen, and then go through the modules at the same time. This is very important about having an online business. All right, so don't get frustrated, become a complainer, blamer. This is new to you, I get it, but we've made it super simple, I promise you that. So look, post in the group so we can help you test, measure, and tweak and teach you what it is that you need to look at and assess, because your niche is individual, your offer is individual, and so we will provide individual support for you so that you get exactly what you need at the right time. Don't get bitter, get better. We're here to help you get better, as always. Right, how long shall we test and measure, tweak for, Ed? Now, again, one more warning, testing, measuring, and tweaking is kind of like investing into your business. This is for your life, all right? You will have to invest into your business for the rest of your life. It's like watering plants. You have to water them for life. It's just the way it goes. It's like feeding your baby. You have to feed it for life. Now, lots of people in the online space, they want to take a program and then make $1 million. Spend a couple of grand and then make $1 million. It doesn't work like that, right? It just doesn't. That's why they're delusional. A real business takes time, and it also takes investment. It's like feeding your baby. You have to feed it for life. You're going to grow your business for the rest of your life. You're going to grow your skills for the rest of your life. You're going to keep on reinvesting into your business for the rest of your life, just like I have. And when you do that, you will become very successful. But you can't just spend a couple of grand and then make 700 million in return. It doesn't work like that, right? You will have to continue investing into your business with the right support. We do the exact same thing. I pay the best to get the best. That's why a high percentage of our most successful clients continue to get the right support from us. That's why they go into the advanced program, because we keep on helping them get massive results. And why wouldn't you? If you're doing really successful, all right, why wouldn't you keep on going? Of course you would, right? Your business will be profitable, and a percentage of your profit you will continue to reinvest into your business so that it grows. Right team, right support, buying people to do stuff. It is just the way it is. You have to accept that. Invest into your business for life. Feeding your baby is for life. Watering your plants is for life. Going to the gym is for life. Growing your business is for life. Invest your profit back in to make more. It's as simple as that. Okay, and so don't be tight. Don't be delusional. Don't be like some multi-level marketing business that thinks that they can spend £35 and make 100 million back in return. Come on. You've got to be realistic, all right? And you can make some serious money if you're willing to put in the work and reinvest so you get good. If you're no good, I cannot help you. So you're going to have to get better, right? And if you're getting feedback that your ad sucks because your messaging sucks, because you don't understand your client, you've never coached anyone, you're going to have to get better, and you get better quick, all right? The faster you get, the better you get. So look, here's the 5 areas to test and measure and tweak. Ad picture. You TMT so it attracts the right potential client. Message, right? You TMT so it attracts the right potential client. Audience, you TMT so it attracts the right potential client. Title of the HVG, you TMT so it attracts the right potential client. Look, we're here for you, so use the group, post in the group. Landing page, your TMT so you attract the right potential. I pay my team a lot to be here for you, so make sure you use them, okay? So that's how to get your ad better, the 5 areas to test, measure, and tweak, right? What is the best audiences? So look, we're going to teach you specifically the audience for your ads. These sometimes change, so we'll always update it. But at some level, it will be public figures, job titles, pages they like, age, sex, location, and status. There'll be some key targeting audiences that we use. Again, depending on your niche, it will be bespoke for you. So what is the best way to optimize? Optimization, you're going to be looking at lead quality first, then booked call quality, and then the close quality. That's what optimization really is all about. So the first step is ad message assess, ad picture assess, audience assesses, HVG title content assess, HVG landing page assess. Those are our 5 key areas to assess lead quality. What we're measuring specifically, and we'll be teaching you this, is cost per click and lead cost, download cost. Now, some of your niches will be different. Some of you will be higher, some of you will be less. We'll be giving you feedback on that, right? And so look, then phase 2, booked call quality. So we're going to landing page, if for whatever reason that percentage of book calls is a little bit low, we're going to landing page assess, thank you page assess, pre-application assess, pre-material assess, email clarity assess, follow-up clarity assess. Now all of these, if we improve in the landing page, the thank you page, the pre-application, pre-material, email clarity, follow-up clarity, what happens is more people will book calls with us, and our cost per book call comes down, okay? And so what we measure specifically is our call cost, okay? And the show up rate. Makes sense? Okay, it will make sense as you go through. And again, you can always repeat this module so it gets clearer and clearer. So those are the 2 elements that we're going to measure. And then close quality is quite simply the amount of people that you can close. Right, if you take 10 calls and you close 1 person, that's 10%. Close 2, that's 20%. Close 3, 30%, and so on. And what we do is work on increasing that percentage. At first, it might be low, right? That means that you need to get better at that. Your ad will be working, your leads will be coming through, but you can't sell. so that you have to get better at that. And so again, don't get bitter, get better. All right. And what we'll measure is specifically number of clients buying. That's it. Okay. And so lead quality, we're going to assess the message, ad picture, audiences, where we're sending it to. All right. The HVG title and the landing page. What we're measuring is cost per click, lead cost download. Okay. And then when we're looking to increase the book call quality, landing page, check it, thank you page, assess, see if we can fine tune it, see if we can tweak, test and measure, pre-application, see if we can get that quicker, pre-material, email clarity, follow-up clarity, and then we're looking at the call cost. How much is it costing for a book call? And what's the show up rate? How many people are actually showing up? All right, because you could have a really cheap, call cost, but no one's turning up, right? You could have a really high call cost, but everyone's turning up. So that these are differentiated factors here. Closing quality, how many people are you actually closing? Okay, number of clients buying. And so we start phase 1, then we move to phase 2, then to phase 3. And as I said, post in the group, go to the live clinics. We're here to help you assess this. That's what we're here for. That's why you need to reinvest into support for this. Okay, it's important that you have people that are doing this for you so you don't have to figure it all out. Okay, so how to write your quick click ad. This is really simple. Okay, this is not, hi, my name is Ed. Thank you for clicking on this ad. I'm so excited for you to download my free guide. You're going to love it. Join my program and you'll get abundance. Do not sell your program on the ad. Right, it's one thing. So one thing is to click the ad. That's the thing. All right, so if you watch this module carefully, say one thing. I see you posting an ad and you're trying to sell something in the ad, you haven't watched this correctly, okay? So quick click ad framework. Niche, problem, CTA, call to action. So it's straight in, some social proof, curiosity hook, and then you just repeat the first section. Niche, problem, CTA. That's it. It's so simple. However, don't that simplification took many, many years to realize how good this ad structure really is. Okay, so for example, you're going to call out your ideal client, call out the problem you're solving, tell them what to do. Why listen to me? What they will get, call out your ideal client, call out the problem you're solving, tell them what to do. Just repeat, quick. Remembering in Instagram and Facebook, it's called interruption marketing. You're jumping onto someone's feed. So they will jump in the feed and, that's why it's different to YouTube. YouTube is much longer, right? You need to build up you need to be, much better at video by then. We can get you there, but we need to get you some validation first, okay? So look, here's an example of the one we've used. Coaches that struggle to get clients, download this free guide, the 3 reasons you don't have enough clients and how to fix it. My method, which is in the free guide, allowed us to take our business to 7 figures. Coaches that need more clients need this guide. The truth is, most are not focused on the right social media platforms. Most dilute themselves and spread themselves too thin. Today, by not having a laser focus around just one client strategy, it'll make it very hard to grow. There is really only one client strategy that works today. Notice Curiosity Hook is problem focused. All right. Then it's coaches that need more clients. Download this free guide, the 3 reasons you don't have enough clients and how to fix it. That's it. And then you put the URL link there. There's nothing more complicated, okay? So that's what it looked like. Call out ideal client, call out problem you're solving, tell them what to do. All right, my method, which is in the guide, took our business to 7 figures per month. Coaches that need more clients need this guide. The truth is, what they will get, the truth is, most are not focused on the right social media platforms. Most dilute themselves and spread themselves too thin. Today, by not having a laser focus around just one client strategy, all right, and then it finishes off. Niche, call out ideal client, call out the problem you're solving, tell them what to do. Right, that's it. There's nothing else. Copy, just so you know, is known as the text. Right, that's the quick click ad script. All right, the ad headline. When it comes to designing this, we have a template in there for you to copy. Okay, in the resource sections, we have a module in that, so you can use that. So you can just have an ad that has a subject line in already. All right, ad picture, you hold in the guide. You can use variations if you want, like bright color images. We've used lots of them. And then get your free guide now where you will discover, and you're going to write that in there, and that'll be all in the setup module. That's it. So look, what this means for your future, you can generate your clients for life without having to live on social media. You can build a real business. You can sell your business at a later stage because you're collecting data, because you're running an ad, downloading, collecting email addresses and phone numbers. Can I get a hell yes for that? So look, here's the summary of what you got. We went through why our approach to ads is so powerful, what happens when you focus on ads, what is the quick click ad strategy overview, what to do to make your quick click ad work better, how to write your quick click ad, and what this means for your future. Okay, tasking to complete now. Tasking to complete now, draw out your scale flow so it makes sense to you. All right, so that's how you grow. Ads are converting, assess the data, a percentage will book, percentage will not. You're going to speak to book calls, call those that do not book as well. Close clients, close the process to close clients onto your program, as many possible. And then you spend more, reinvest a higher percentage of your revenue back in and increase your ad spend, which means that you get higher amounts of conversions on ads. It means you can make more contact with more people. It means you can close more sales, and then you increase the ad spend. Make sense? Okay, so draw out your quick click ad strategy so you understand the flow as well. He's going to see your ad. Client does not download your HVG. Your message is not landing yet. Assess that. All right, tweak and test ad message, ad audience, HVG title, content, etc. till your message is working. They're going to see the ad. Client downloads your HVG. Your message is working. All right, simple as that. Task number 3, write out the optimization plan so you're clear on what to tweak. Phase 1. All right, what you're testing, ad message, ad picture, audience, HVG title, HVG landing page, measuring CPC, cost per click, lead cost. Phase 2, book call quality. Right, we'll come to that a little bit later, but landing page, thank you page, pre-application, pre-material, email clarify, follow up, call cost, sharp rate, and then phase 3, close quality. Okay, that's it. It's really simple. And then last one, post in the group for feedback before you go live. Use the quick click ad framework, write it out, call out your ideal client, call out the problem you're solving, tell them what to do, why listen to me, what they're going to get, and then just repeat the first section. Call out ideal client, problem, and then tell them what to do. All right, that being said, complete your tasking now. We're here for you every step of the way. We got your back. As always, no matter what happens, never give up on your dreams. My name's Ed JC Smith, and I cannot wait to see you on the next module. Let's go, get your tasking done. Go, 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 go.